Hi, Pet the Podcast Editors here. Who's ready for some business and marketing tools that will change your life? Okay, maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration, but today Dan and Lloyd talk tools that have proven themselves to be indispensable here at Knowlton HQ, as well as the practical ways that anyone could get the most out of them.
What is a tool?
I'm sitting opposite one. Hey, let's.
You'll hear about how to optimize communication within your team and streamline your clients' feedback on projects. Believe it or not, some of these tools won't cost you a penny.
And we still use the free version. And we're 3 years into using it.
I was going to say, I'm surprised we get so much value from the free version, but we really do, don't we?
So what can these tools do for you? Stay tuned to find out. Right, let's dive in. This is episode 80 of the Business Anchors podcast.
We're just a couple of business anchors. Welcome to the Business Anchors podcast. This jingle is slightly too long. This jingle is slightly too long.
Dan, what business and marketing tools could you not live without?
Sorry, I'm still laughing at your previous intro that you tried to do.
There wasn't a previous one.
So, before I dive into them, we've both got 5 tools each that we cannot live without. And I think this is going to be a really useful episode to anyone in marketing, anyone in business who wants to make their life easier and get better results and more effective and all that good stuff.
Yeah. My definition of tools is quite relaxed.
What is a tool?
I'm sitting opposite one.
Hey, let's. Well, to be honest, my tools aren't tools. They're just things.
Great.
No,
Brilliant.
Well, I suppose, no, hang on. Definition. What is a tool? A tool is a thing you use to help you do stuff. That's definitely what the Oxford English Dictionary says.
Yeah.
And that's the definition I've used. Basically, it's something that helps with my business knowledge and
Makes your life
ability to
easier.
do a good job. Yeah.
Cool. So the way I've prepped this, I don't know how you have, Lloyd, hopefully it's in line with me, is I'm going to say what the tool is.
Oh, these aren't preps, Dan.
Oh,
These
they're just...
Our podcasts are completely just natural conversations, providing value naturally to our audience.
Okay.
Providing entertainment, very naturally in my case, to our audience.
Okay, so the way I'm naturally probably going to go about approaching this, just thinking about it right in the moment.
Yeah. What's that paper?
is saying what the tool is, why I love it, and how much it is.
Okay.
I might do that. I don't know. We'll see when I start. So randomly thinking of a tool. Shall I start and just think of one on the spot?
Yeah.
One of the tools, let me think of a tool that I think is super effective for our business is Slack. When I first heard about Slack, I thought it was just a tool that people use to kind of look cool because like, oh, do you use Slack? Yeah, I use Slack. Yeah.
I don't never use email.
Yeah.
Like, email? What's email? In the 1920s. Yeah.
Exactly right, Boris. And we obviously wanted to try and look cool, so we started using it and realized it's an absolute game changer. So for those that don't know what Slack is a kind of messaging and communication platform. Imagine WhatsApp on steroids. Is that a good...
WhatsApp for business, I'd say. Well, WhatsApp, on steroids, as in it's better. Not that you're better if you take steroids. No judgment, but
and the reason I love this is because it very simply and easily categorizes conversations into channels so that you can communicate more efficiently with your internal team and with clients. Because you can create channels that all the conversations to do with one thing go in that channel, so it's not all in emails that are difficult to keep up with. It's not all in one WhatsApp group that's difficult to keep up with.
Also, like email threads, when you're like, oh, what did Stephen say 3 weeks ago? With emails, it's like, oh, I wasn't copied in that one. Oh, have you got, scroll back. Whereas Slack, you can search throughout you know it's in that channel because that's what the conversation is about.
Keywords.
You can search, find it. Everyone can see it that needs to see it. So that's a really good feature as well.
And in terms of how much it costs, it starts free, but do we pay more than that now? There is...
Oh, yeah, we definitely pay for Slack.
Yeah, I think the more team members you have...
I think, put it this way, we've got around 10 people on it and we spend about 50 quid a month, I think.
There you go.
But the value is, I'd pay a lot more than that for the value we get from it.
That's my first one. Lloyd, what have you got for me, just, off the top of your head?
Off the top of my head, God. just completely naturally off the top of my head, a tool called Frame.io. So this is may not be good for everyone, but if you do anything with video ever, whether it's I made a TikTok, or whether it's I produced a feature-length film, Frame.io is basically a tool that cuts out the conversations of sending a video file to someone and then going, I didn't quite like that bit just after this thing. And that green bit of 126, can you make that a bit more like the other bit? And then you read through feedback and you're like, well, what is he talking about?
So how does it solve that problem, Lloyd?
So it solves that problem by one person uploads video to Frame.io, whatever it is, whether it's a 10-second TikTok or a 30-minute video documentary series. You can share that link with anyone you want to. They can leave comments while they're watching it, and that comment will have a timestamp and be linked and really cleverly shown exactly where it is. So say there's something at 126 that they're commenting on, it will show you in the timeline. That's where it is. That's what they've commented. That's what they're saying. And it also links with video editing platforms. So you can have a direct link, and while you're editing on your software, it's like, that bit there. So good for video editors as well. But it's just basically similarly to Slack, really. You might be thinking, this is a very specific video thing. It improves communication and makes it really efficient and cuts out the, what do they mean by that? What bit are they talking about? And I think it's really a game changer if you use video, whether it's, I need my colleague to approve this video, or I need some feedback, or I need this client to leave feedback on this.
How much is it?
It is an amount of money. Because I'm just thinking off the top of my head, I'm afraid I didn't know we were talking about costs.
Right. It's not very expensive though, is it?
No. Again, how much does it cost? It costs good value. That's how much it costs. Okay.
Cool.
Just message me, or just look it up yourself if you want to know the cost. Frame.io.
Great. My next one, which is something I constantly
How
bang
much
on
does it
about.
cost?
It starts at 3. I haven't said what it is yet.
Everything starts at 3 then.
So HubSpot. So HubSpot it does everything, but it's an all-round marketing and sales tool.
Actually, I fancy some donuts, Dan. Can you just make some with HubSpot? Does everything, doesn't it?
Oh, you make my life difficult.
Sorry.
But I'll tell you what the main thing we use it for is its sales and CRM system. A CRM system is a customer relationship management. Is that what it stands for?
I think it is, yeah.
Where you basically can input customer data and you can create these pipelines, these sales pipelines with different steps that your potential customers go through that you can log and ensure you're doing everything possible to convert as many new customers as possible. And
so how does it help you ensure you're doing anything possible?
Because
just to delve into it.
You can basically, when a new lead comes in, you can put it in the system and then you can set tasks to remind you to do stuff to nudge them through each step of the process. In its most simplistic form, it's got loads of other features that show you how your pipeline's performing and that kind of thing. But the main thing we use it for, is the sales and CRM system.
We find it useful as well with kind of reporting in our management meetings that we have every month. It splits each sort of level of your pipeline if you set it up and kind of adds the value of the deals that are at various stages. And it makes it very easy. If your job, whether you're a one-man band who just needs to speak to your accountant, or if you're in a huge corporation that needs to say how the sales pipeline's going, it gives you figures which are very easily comparable to last month or last week or yesterday. So I think that's really useful.
And we still use the free version. And we're 3 years into using it.
I was going to say, I'm surprised we get so much value from the free version, but we really
genuinely do.
So starts at free.
Yes. Give us your next one, Lloyd.
My next one is Xero. I feel like my ones are boring.
Yeah, but they're still useful.
So just stick with me here, because Xero is an accounting software, if you don't know, guys. But this will be brief. I've never met anyone that has switched to Xero and said anything negative.
Okay.
So whether it's a small business going from like spreadsheets to Xero, or whether it's someone that's switched from like QuickBooks to zero. So far, I've never met anyone that said, "Oh God, I was having much better time, and it was much better for my business with this previous thing I was doing." Everyone is always saying, "Oh my God, that's made this so much better and so much easier." And for me, there's the whole thing about making tax digital in the UK, so that helps with that initiative of just everything's digital, makes that much, much easier. But for me, it's I feel like Zero gives me a superpower, which is super being able to forecast your finances in the future, man.
Okay, that sounds like a shit superhero. That is the worst superhero I've ever heard of.
No,
I think Marvel will be making any films about that one soon.
I'm available for any appearances as a new superhero character. But stick with me, because this, I know it sounds boring, but before we didn't have any way to clearly and efficiently kind of show us in 3 months' time where are our finances going to be, in 6 months' time where are we going to be, in a month's time where are we going to be. And now Zero make that very easy, and the reason it feels like a superpower, although not a great superpower, is if you can be making decisions on your business in 3 months' time rather than now, and saying, "Oh yeah, in 3 months' time we will have £20,000 to invest in that new studio
that we did recently."
That feels like a superpower, because we never could do that before. We never had a clear enough picture of our future finances and a forecast that was reliable, that allowed us to make those decisions and helped our business grow.
Do you remember when we started out and we just used to have an Excel spreadsheet
Yes.
with just numbers on it that didn't make any sense?
After about a year, we had no idea if we were even profitable. There were lots of numbers there, though.
And I'm guessing you don't know how much Zero costs.
Zero is good value.
Okay. My next one, I feel bad because this isn't a tool. This is more of a resource. But when I prepared this podcast episode, I called this marketing resources, and you didn't like it. So this is a kind of marketing resource called the Diary of a CEO podcast. Again, I'm going to keep this brief because I speak about this a lot. What is it? It's the greatest podcast of all time. It's a podcast run by Stephen Bartlett. He's actually the new dragon on Dragon's Den.
Yes.
You should watch that if you haven't.
My wife and sister-in-law have started watching Dragon's Den since he's been on there.
Oh.
And I don't think it's just because of his business knowledge from the conversations I've ever heard.
Nice. Well, Stephen, if you're single, then and you're watching this, which you never will be, then
Then Then get with Lloyd's wife. What was the call to action there for Stephen Bartlett?
we should definitely clip this and send it to Stephen Bartlett.
Hi, Stephen. Thanks for making her happy.
So that's what it is. I absolutely love that podcast. Learned so much from it. It started out just him doing it as a solo podcast. Now he has some of the world's leading experts and a whole range of topics to discuss different things, and it's really, really good. It's free as well to listen to or watch on YouTube.
My next tool, in inverted commas, I'm going to go with something very similar, is just Audible. So again, it's not a tool like, oh, use this for your finances in your business. But like I said, the definition of tool for me, something that really helps
Makes your
me
life easier.
in business. And Audible, being able to listen to books, like when you can't read. So you can't read a book while you're driving. Dangerous.
Have you tried it?
Okay, very dangerous. You can't read a book while you're washing up. Wet. Okay. You can't.
This is so Brent.
Read a book at night. Dark. Okay. But with Audible, you can. You can listen to books. Good. At any time when normally you can't get the value. And
David Brent.
I've lost it now because you're laughing so funny. I've lost it. But yeah, what I'm trying to say, sorry for going Brent there. The kind of minuscule steps in my knowledge of like business and kind of self-improvement that then has a knock-on effect to business, and building my knowledge gradually while I'm driving.
What is Audible?
Washing up. Audible is a audiobook platform.
And I think they do a free month, first month free. And
Yeah.
It's like $7.99, $9.99 a month, something like that.
Yeah, I think I pay $7.99, but everyone gets a free month at first, so you can try listening to audiobooks for free, and then if you like it. But that minuscule like steps in knowledge that normally you weren't able to educate yourself because dangerous, wet, dark. I think it has like a snowball effect, and you don't notice it, and then after a year of looking back, like, oh, I've listened to in your first year, it might 20 books. Okay, that's like more than achievable because it's so easy to do. And then you think, oh, actually, I learned that thing. And then we had this meeting at work. We implemented that. And down the line, that's made our business hugely more efficient
I've
or
got a
made
bone
us
to pick
more
with
money.
you.
What?
You're making me think of, that Skillshare or whatever account that the business pays for?
Masterclass.
Masterclass.
Yep.
Can you tell me some masterclasses you've done to make use of that?
Sure. Mexican cooking. For one.
Yeah.
And that's really helped me in the business with my professional development, because when I feel like I've got all the nutrition for Mexican food I need, I perform better at work.
Good.
Chess.
Why is
that good?
Nelson paying for
Helps me think in different ways.
this? Okay.
And I can bring that to work.
Okay.
Music production by Timberland. Timberland. Makes me think creatively.
Okay, cool. My next tool,
How did you
resource,
find out that the business was paying for that?
because I remember seeing Ida put in the Slack group things we're paying for, and I saw it and I thought, Lloyd never mentions he does masterclasses in anything useful that's for the business. Anyway, my next thing, another kind of resource / tool, is Matt Navarro's Geek Out newsletter. This is a weekly newsletter where he shares shitloads of stuff that's changing in the social media space, and it's very detailed. You find out everything you need to know, and it's free to sign up for. So just search Matt Navarro Geek Out newsletter, and it's free.
Great. Well, that is good, isn't it?
Yeah.
My next one
is,
I think it's pronounced Milanote, but it might be Milanote. Milanote. If you're presenting anything visually to anyone in your business, have a look at that. And there's a free version. Starts at free. No one knows what it costs other than that. Like every tool we've mentioned.
why don't you just do a PowerPoint, Lloyd? Or a
I could
keynote?
do, but this is much better because it is. But this is basically made it's when I say present things, it's not like, oh, slide one and I'm going to do this talk. It's like a big visual space where you can put texts, images, videos. So say you're give
us practical examples.
for our business.
Come on, Lloyd.
Okay, we want to communicate a video concept to a client. They currently have no idea about anything to do with this concept. If we just write a bit of a script, it's very hard for them to visualize what that might be like. Whereas if we put excerpts of example parts of the script, we put videos that
examples
we're inspired by. Oh, it could look a bit like this. We put
mood boards.
Yeah, mood boards with images and colors of like, this is kind of what we're going for, the look. Then they can look at that and go, we click a button, share the link. Unlike PowerPoint, where it'd be like, oh, say this is a PDF, send it over by email.
So we're
just
in the cloud,
share the
isn't it?
link. They can look at it. They can add comments. And yeah, I think if you're doing anything creative, check it out. It's a really interesting way to communicate your creative ideas. And we found it really helpful.
Good. My final one.
Yeah.
Chartable. Chartable is podcasting software that helps you know when you're charting and in what charts. It gives you extra data around your podcast, what's working, what isn't, where your audience are. One of my favorite features is smart links. So, when you produce a podcast, it goes everywhere. It's on Apple, it's on Spotify, it's on YouTube, it's on Google Podcasts. You can create one link that you can set rules for. So if someone has an Apple device, it automatically goes to Apple Podcasts. If someone usually uses Spotify, it automatically goes to Spotify. Or you can have like a landing page that has all the links to everything.
And that helps you having a world-leading podcast like The Business Anchor.
Exactly. You'll see this when we promote it on social media, that we use a smart link from Chartable. And it starts at free, like everything. And then I think we pay $20 a month to have unlimited smart links because we're producing a Knowlton Nugget on a Monday and a podcast on a Thursday. We need
Just in case you wanted to know, listeners, Mondays and Thursdays when you should probably check for more of this great value.
Yes. And what about you, Lloyd? Give me your final
My
tool.
final tool is the entrepreneurial operating system.
Is that a tool?
Yes.
Okay. Didn't we do a podcast about this a while ago, Lloyd? And in-depth detail around how we're applying that system to our business that people should listen
you
to.
should definitely listen to.
Which episode was it?
It was episode one of the previous ones. And yes, so you can hear much more detail on it if you want to from there. But I've realized more and more over the last couple of years, boring processes in business, one of the most important things if you want to scale and grow your business. And the entrepreneurial operating system basically is a massive system that helps you put all of the processes in place in a really efficient way where everyone works brilliantly together and you can achieve your goals. There's a lot more detail to it, but I'll let you guys listen to or read the books if you want to look more into it. But I would definitely recommend it.
Good. I hope you found all of these tools useful. They make our lives a lot easier, don't they? So
Yeah.
hope you've got value from this.
And like I was saying with Audible, of like, oh, that minuscule bit of information, it has a snowball effect. I think if you can use one of these tools and it has a bit of a positive effect in the next week, that butterfly effect will happen. Snowball and butterflies, both of them there, and have a really positive effect in the next couple of years.
And you had something you wanted to share at the end of this episode, didn't you, Lloyd?
Yes. Dan has decided that he wants to be a magician. So he'll be leaving.
I love just putting you on the spot with random stuff
Yeah.
that you don't have anything to say.
Yeah, thank you for that. On that note,
you panic in your eyes.
Let's end it there. Yeah. Yeah. I was trying not to say anything weird, offensive, or boring. I think I picked the boring one.
Yes.
Right. We'll see you next week anyway, when Dan is going to share something that he wanted to say. Aren't you, Dan?
Yep. See you then.
See you next week.